Avinu Malkeinu.
Hi everyone, this week's program is being recorded and aired during the 9 days of Av, preceding the fast of Tisha B'Av. These are days of mourning in which we commemorate the holy temples that were destroyed generations ago. We refrain from shaving, holding celebrations and hearing music, and so this week's salad will be a bit shorter and less joyful. But let's begin. Shalom and welcome to Israeli Salad. The Yortzeit, the anniversary of the death of Aaron Kohen, was marked on Shabbat Rosh Chodesh Av. Aaron was the elder brother of Moshe Rabbeinu, and he was chosen by Hashem to be the first Kohen Gadol, leading the holy service in the Holy Temple. Elazar and Itamar, Aaron's sons, served as Kohanim along with their father. Aaron was buried outside of the land of Israel at Hor Har, and so his Yortzeit is commemorated annually at the gravesites of his sons. Gravesites which are located in the middle of an Arab-populated village. The Shomron district soldiers are worried about the phenomenon of Jews that infiltrate, sometimes risking their lives, to Arab-occupied cities like Shechem, with one goal, ascending to the gravesites of our sages located there. The Jewish leaders of the Shomron are constantly holding dialogue with the security establishment to allow the entry of Jews to these locations. From time to time, the army approves, coordinates, and secures the event. A day before the Yortzeit, the day of passing of Aaron Kohen, the security forces allowed Jews to enter the village of Awarta, where Aaron's sons, Elazar and Itamar, are buried, together with the Shivim Hazkenim, the 70 sages from the time of Moshe Rabbeinu. After the forces deploy in the village, the first car comes to install lighting and prepare the location for the tefillah, the prayer. Before coordinating logistics, there's time to stop and see the condition of the holy site. Arabic graffiti and the desecration remind us of the hostility and the danger of arriving here regularly. Jews made sure to add their own graffiti. Here is Elazar's grave, was written on the stone. Meanwhile, the electricity is being connected and the gravestones are covered in order to give the tombs the honorable look they deserve. The fact that Jews are arriving and ascending to these holy sites is positive. However, organizers remind us that it's not normal to need such complex protection and defense to reach a holy site.
We're used to driving in these areas like we drive through every place in Israel. The way things are now make things difficult. We are sad that the nation cannot come simply and easily to pray at the tombs of Elazar and Itamar. We are sad to see the situation of the tombs. The yearning of people to come and pray here fills us with light and happiness, but we want it to be open, that the whole nation will be able to come with no limitations. Places of holiness, places of the righteous, are not places for protection. They protect us. We have Hashem, blessed be He, who gave us these righteous. We don't have to fear anything else.
The first tomb is ready and the team hops over to the second site, the tomb of Itamar Kohen. The first buses arrive, there's food and beverages for everyone, and in a minute, the whole area becomes a bustling site of prayer.
We
try to hold a constant dialogue with the army regarding sites like this one, Yoshua's tomb in Kefel Kares, and Yosef's tomb in Shechem. We negotiate entries to these sites. The nation of Israel comes. Chassidim, Litvaks, Ashkenazim, Sephardim, Yemenites, also the national religious.
Since he became the head of the Shomron Council, Gershon Mesika joins every coordinated and authorized ascent to the holy sites in his council's area. He is not surprised by the amount of participants, and so today he promises to be consistent and strive to achieve regular Jewish presence in the holy places.
כל עם ישראל מתחבר
The whole nation of Israel connects. These are our ancestors, ancestors of the Shomron residents, as well as of the residents of Central Israel. And I'm happy that everyone connects to these places. The whole nation is one united entity.
As we leave the location, we understand that this is just the beginning of the night. Another group of Jews is on the way to the village of Awarta. These days we are commemorating the expulsion from Gush Katif and northern Shomron, which took place 3 years ago. Now lots of cultural products were created during the expulsion and afterwards, literature, movies, poetry, and more. The Fryman's Kitchen is a unique movie, unique because of its simplicity, documenting the life of a senior couple during the days of the Gush Katif eviction. Like many film directors, Hadar Bashan decided to document the expulsion and create a film that will bring the story from inside. In Hadar's case, she went really inside and stayed inside the kitchen of the Frymans.
It's not another expulsion movie. Whoever wants a movie about the action from the expulsion and the active struggle, the screaming, shouting, and crying, shouldn't watch this movie. My movie relates to the internal coping with the situation, the difficulty that was brought on us, and all this combined with our world of faith.
The film presents the difficult balance between belief that the expulsion can be cancelled, even at the last moment, and the practical coping with the situation.
למה קשה? למה קשה? כשאדם קשור לדלת אמות, אבל דלת של אמות של בן אדם זה כל כבודו של בן אדם, זה בית. הזוג הזה זה זוג שהם היו שכנים שלי. הכרתי אותם מאוד מאוד טוב. מאוד אהבתי אותם.
They were my neighbors. I knew them very well. I loved them very much.
ממלאות את המטבח בחיים שלמים.
This kitchen is a whole world, and these characters fill up this kitchen with their lives. Meals, discussions, phone calls, learning, guests, everything. You don't have to go out. And so what interested me was the internal coping that I had, and we all had. The difficult questions and the great pain. I didn't want to stay outside. I had nothing to look for in the streets. All the craziness outside didn't interest me. I was interested in the internal struggle and pain, and this was found in the kitchen. There was no need to go out.
ואת זה אפשר היה למצוא במטבח, לא צריך לצאת החוצה.
אני לא מתנדדת, אני עומדת, אני כאן ואני רזוז מכאן.
גם אני אומר אותו דבר, אני מציע שאני כאן, אני לא צריך את כל הדברים שיש פה. את השליחים אני לא צריך שיהיו פה.
אתה כבר רוצה לצליח.
אז מה אני אעשה איתם? יש ערבים, יקחו את זה לערבים?
אתה עדיין חושב ערבים יבואו כאן?
אז מה חשב שהם יעשו?
טוב יעקב, שברו אותך. אתה צריך להחליט. אם אתה עם ערבים מרושרון, או אתה עם קדוש ברוך הוא.
זה לא גיל שירוצו על הג'בלאות ויברחו משוטרים ויעשו מחבואים וחסמבה, אלא באמת יישארו במקום המאוד פנימי.
They're not at an age of running in the sand dunes and hills and playing hide and seek with the police. Rather, stick to this very internalized place. They see things through a perspective of their life experience.
The real tragedy of this movie is that Yaakov, who agreed to have his life documented during the intense days of the eviction, is not with us anymore. Yaakov passed away nearly 1 year ago.
אולי זה מאמץ את הפסיכוסומטי?
בדרך כלל
אתה לא צריך לקחת על הכתפיים כל עולם.
זהו, די. תודה רבה.
אתה עכשיו נראית טוב.
יעקב מיד אחרי הגירוש.
After the expulsion, Yaakov went through a process of fading away. He stayed alive for 2 years, but he wasn't really there. He didn't have the energy and vitality that he had before. He became an uprooted man.
הוא היה בן אדם עקור. והוא הלך ודעך לאט לאט. וכששואלים אותי היום ממה הוא נפטר, לי זה ברור.
When I'm asked what he died from, to me it's obvious that the expulsion killed him. His widow was living in Ein Surim, an amazing lady. She's working very hard to rebuild her life, like we all are going through a tiring and exhausting process.
ברוך השם אישה חזקה וגדולה.
The fast of Tisha B'Av, commemorating the destruction of the two holy temples, is marked on Sunday, August 10th. On the eve of the first day of the month of Av, we joined a special conference in Jerusalem that looked ahead to the hopefully very near future when we will rebuild the holy temple, Beit HaMikdash.
1967 war, they announced the Temple Mount is in our hands. Today we're announcing, yes, the temple is in our hands. It's up to us. When will it be built? Today, if we are interested.
On the eve of Rosh Chodesh Av, the Temple Institute in Jerusalem sponsored a youth conference under the banner, "Build me a temple, and I shall dwell amongst you." These are the words from Exodus chapter 25.
We can decide that we are interested, we are determined. It's in our hands these days to say to Hashem, yes, the temple was destructed, but we are ready. We are ready to get up and rebuild it today where it should be.
Over 500 teenagers attended the event where they heard the guest lecturer speak of the commandment to build the holy temple, how the commandment applies to each individual, the necessity for the resumption of the offerings in order to rekindle our relationship with God, and the great need for young blood to be active in paving the way to the rebuilding.
We are ready to build the temple. We are ready to build Beit HaMikdash. And that's a declaration that all the people here today are going to be announcing.
Rabbi Dror Shmulian conducted a workshop on producing the colors of the Bigdei Kehuna, the priestly garments. The garments and temple utensils produced by the Institute were on display. Before leaving the event, the kids signed the Amanat HaMikdash, the Temple Treaty, declaring their commitment to taking practical, active measures in their daily lives to help build temple consciousness and turn the dream into reality.
We have hundreds and hundreds of students from all over the country coming to sign a declaration that we are committed to the building of the temple as God has commanded us in the Torah, and we are here to try to discuss and think what we can do to proceed in this process. What can we do to promote the bringing back the light of Hashem to the world, where God had chosen to establish the house of prayer for all nations, which will unite the people from all over the world.
After the event, the participants continued to the Sivuv She'arim, circling the walls of the Temple Mount.
I heard about Sivuv She'arim from a few friends, and I wanted to experience it.
A lot of my friends, when they were here for the year, they did it, and I've never done it before, so I wanted to give it a shot.
I think it's inspiring to go through all of Yerushalayim, to all the to be able to walk through our Yatikah. It's sad that it's not done peacefully. It's sad that there are guards everywhere, and but hopefully one day we'll achieve the peace and be able to walk through here peacefully without having to look to the left and to the right and have guards everywhere.
Okay, that's all for this week's Israeli Salad. Join us again next week for another more cheerful Israeli Salad, hoping to celebrate together with all of you in the rebuilt Beit HaMikdash. Shalom to everyone.
Yemini, Tidbak L'Shor.